Hi, I'm Mary Knipple. I'm the book mentor, and I'd like to welcome you to this month's edition of Write Your Book, Grow Your Business free training. And since it's Women's History Month, I thought it would be very appropriate for us to talk about her story. No, that wasn't a slip of the tongue. I want to talk about her story because all of our life experiences have brought us to where we are today. And those are her stories. And oftentimes I have women who say to me, well, everything that's happened to me is pretty ordinary. It's not anything that other people would want to hear about. And that's where I, I beg to differ because those are the transformational stories that have made us who we are today. I I want to emphasize the fact that we so often will think that because everybody has similar experiences that they have coped with it the same way we did, that they have learned the same lessons that we have. And the reality is, the fact is that we all have our own unique spin on things. And we benefit from hearing how somebody else did it, how somebody else got through it. So if you think about the world, the universal story, as this beautiful tapestry, and our story is one thread that is weaved in with everybody else's to make this beautiful picture. And if we don't tell our story, then the tapestry isn't complete. And to take it a step further, those we are meant to have an impact on won't have the experience, the life experience that they are destined to have because we didn't share what was our experience. So that's that's my take on it. And when it comes down to, well, Mary, how do I know what my transformational story is? Then I would invite you to think about your life experiences and start with the stressors that we have in common, the loss of a job. Maybe it's that you haven't experienced losing a job, but someone in your family has, your spouse. From my experience, it's happened to us twice, where it also incorporated a major move. So that those were those were double whammies for our immediate family, and then for the ripple effect of leaving everybody that we knew, everything that we knew in one state, moving to another state and being replanted and then doing it again. And so those are the loss of a job, a major move, a catastrophic illness. We're all experiencing COVID right now. So there are many stories of what the ripple effect was of the stay at home, the the masking, the taking getting the vaccinations. Perhaps you had to go and seek medical care for something else during the pandemic, and the extra layers that you had to go through so that you could see somebody, or maybe you had to do something virtually that you've never done before because you couldn't leave or you couldn't be in a big group. So that's a universal experience that the world had COVID, but it's what it how it impacted you and what you did to cope with it, how you changed and how you became resilient and resourceful. And so in another universal is cancer affects everyone in some way. You may not have been diagnosed with it. The way I was diagnosed twice, I got a form letter saying call the doctor's office immediately. And ended up having surgery twice, and both times it was outpatient because it wasn't um, the the catastrophic diagnosis that it is for a lot of people. But at the same time, I didn't know that when I got the form letter. I I had that reaction of, what's next? What's next? How do I cope? And that's so my coping was writing in my journal, and excerpts from my journal turned up into my book, The Secret Artist. Give yourself permission to let your creativity shine. So that's how I coped, and that's how I moved forward, and how I'm sharing my story with the world. You know that writing is a tool that everybody has access to, and you don't have to study with a guru. You don't have to go somewhere and and take mountains of classes. You can write in a journal and have a conversation on paper with yourself. So another stressor is loss of a loved one. Um, it's something that we all go through, but we cope with it in different ways. Grief shows up in so many different ways, and it has devastating effects, and it definitely has life lessons. And we have cherished memories and experiences with our loved ones, and we can keep those. We won't see them in person, but we have the memories, and we can continue to have a relationship with them in our memories, and 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 think of them. Um, and in some ways, they continue to be part of our life lessons. My older brother passed away suddenly, and his children came to me and said, "Will you write his eulogy?" And I consider that one of the pivotal points where my family was recognizing my abilities as a writer, and I stepped into being a speaker, kind of baptism by fire, because I was practicing the talk that I wanted to, give for the eulogy, and I was crying, and um, someone suggested, well, just let the priest read it. And I said, no, I have to deliver this myself, because nobody else can talk about him the way I can. He's my big brother. I've known him my entire life, and nobody knows him with that quirky sense of humor the way I do. And I didn't know it at the time, that crying is just be the thing that happens when I know that I am really connected to what I'm saying, and helping you be connected to what it is that you are meant to bring out into the world. So if I'm crying, that means that we have pay dirt. We have found the heart of the story. And so I sent sent the congregation out of church, laughing through their tears, because I painted a picture of who he was by telling a story that had them seeing him in the light that in through my eyes. And the final major stressor is divorce. And whether or not you've had a marriage, you may have lost relationships, and so it's the death of a relationship. And and again, long-standing relationships, you go through peaks and valleys. And so it's how you go through these stressors in your life, and what lessons you learned, and how you have become a different person because of those lessons. So think about, um, maybe it's not the loss of the job. Maybe it was getting the job. Maybe it wasn't the major move from one part of the world to another, but maybe it was um, the first time as a child you moved. And I know when I think about it now, it was 5 miles that we moved from the little town that we were living in town, to out to the farm. And that was that was a big deal. Um, so it could be a move. And perhaps you didn't experience the illness, but someone really significant around you did. And watching what they went through, being a part of the life, as you were all experiencing that, and the loss of a loved one. It could be a pet. It could be a job situation. Um, the death of a dream that you thought you were going to be able to do one thing, and that's not possible. So it's your perspective on what it is that changed the trajectory of your life. Those are the transformational stories. They change the trajectory of your life. When the second time I had the breast cancer diagnosis, it was, I can't wait any longer to write my book and to take my place as a catalyst for women who didn't think that they had a story, didn't think that it would matter if they stayed silent. And I'm on a mission to help those women recognize that, yes, you have a story. It matters. And I'm going to be your cheerleader. I'm going to be your architect to help you build whatever it is you want to build. And I'm going to be the nudge to say, hey, remember, you you told me you wanted to do this. So I'm going to be here reminding you while we're until we do it, and while we're doing it, to keep you showing up on the page. Um, so um, so once you want to share your story, how do you write it, and who do you write it for? Um, what are you going to do with it? To that end, I have a workshop coming up on Friday to and I titled it "Your Story Matters," and we're going to actually have you identify one of those stories that you want to write about and do some writing. You are going to come out of it with either topics or something completed. It's going to be a working workshop. That's Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and you can sign up for that on the website yourwritingmentor.com. The actual email or link is yourwritingmentor.com/workshop dash your dash story dash matters dash sign dash up. And you can just go to yourwritingmentor.com and find that. And the other thing is that I have decided that 2022 is the year that I birth authors. And the first thing that I am going to be the coordinator of is an anthology of 12 women who want to publish in a community. The working title right now is Written in Her Words, her own words. Wise Woman Wisdom, Transformational Stories of Triumph Over Tragedy. And we're going to have a question and answer call on March 17th at 9 a.m. That's Thursday. And you can sign up for that on my website as well, yourwritingmentor.com. Because so often, once they have said, yeah, I'm going to write, they need support. They have they're tentatively, you want me to be visible? You want me to talk about what? And my thing is that I get how scary it is. What it takes for you to be bravely be seen and share your message and have your voice be heard. And so I want to make that um, something that you step into and feel that you're supported. I got you. I got your back. I'm holding your hand and I'm cheering you on. And the Q&A call is to answer the questions about the specifics. And if you want to have a one-on-one call with me about the anthology, I would love to. Our target is to publish in the fall. So you're ready to go, and we're ready to help you be a part of the community. You don't have to take on the whole book, but you have a story, and you definitely can write a chapter with our help. I have a team behind me, and I I have the heart to help you. I'm Mary Knipple, the book mentor. Just let me make sure that I don't have any more notes. I want to make sure I've been rattling on. I just want to remind you that um, you can write. You are a writer. You are the author of your story. Nobody else can tell it from your perspective except you. And to get started, it's as simple as showing up on the page, making a commitment to write for 5 minutes every day. And it doesn't matter if it's in the morning or before you go to bed or on your lunch break. It's sitting down and having a conversation with yourself on the page. And you would be amazed what comes up in 5 minutes if you decide that you're going to build your writing muscle just the way when you exercise, you start out with 5-pound weights and you work your way up. You will be writing longer, I guarantee. But if you make the commitment to 5 minutes, it's easier to show up consistently for 5 minutes. If you're watching this on replay, please put replay in the comments. If you have some questions now, I will check the chat and let's see. I don't see any questions in there. So this has been our monthly training for Write Your Book, Grow Your Business. I mentor women who want to turn their transformational story into a book, to leave a legacy, to write the book that's going to grow their business. We offer this the second Wednesday every month, 2:30. And this will be recorded on and put up on yourwritingmentor.com. So if you want to check it out some more, I'd love to talk with you. I'm Mary Knipple, the book mentor. Thank you.